My name's Ajay Balakrishnan. I'm doing my video journal too. So, some of the things I've learned about failure in the context of a career is that it's an inevitable aspect of life. Specifically, in the context of a professional career, failing is something to be expected, and that's why it's important to learn how to manage and move forward. As Unit 4 explained, embracing failure is a natural part of the process that can empower both an individual but also teams to take calculated risk and experiment with new ideas to ultimately achieve greater success. This unit has talked a lot about how to manage failure and how to improve from it rather than trying to prevent it. I believe it comes down to how you process failure rather than focusing on the severity of the failure. Meaning, being angry or upset at yourself or others for the failure or giving up is going to be significantly less effective compared to accepting the failure for what it is and trying to focus on how you could improve going forward. My biggest takeaway from this unit is that in the context of a career, failures are to be expected and even encouraged to a degree because it acts as a catalyst for improvement on many different levels. Um, as for the video that resonated with me the most, it would definitely be the video with Jia Zhang, which was about what I learned from 100 Days of Rejection. The reason why this video resonated with me the most is because I believe it speaks a lot about insecurities and a lot of worries people have in a professional context, but it's also able to address individual problems such as social anxiety. And when those two things are paired together, it can create an overwhelming hurdle or obstacle that can appear as an unbreakable wall. I really enjoyed the whole concept of the video being centered around looking for rejection in order to understand how to face it um, in real time and move forward, especially with the progression of the video series, with him starting off being scared and anxious and literally running away, compared to him being able to stand still and question further. And then when they say no, you eventually lead them to having them change their minds or come up with a doable compromise. As he said in the video, these compromise situations would have never even been possible had he not taken the steps to learn how to handle rejection and overcome the social anxiety by forcing himself to inquire further and ask questions. Overall, it resonated with me the most because I have a lot of big aspirations for my professional career too, but I also constantly worry about rejection and social confrontation. So, watching the video highlighted some strategies and personal lines of thinking for me to ask myself when I'm in similar situations. I also found it interesting because the video also teaches a lesson about never having too high expectations in order to be more content with the results. For example, in both the Starbucks situation and the Krispy Kreme situation in the TED Talk, although he went in there expecting the answer to be no, he was offered a compromise or they met his request. And it was so unexpected that he was unsure of how to even respond in the situation. Um, and then as for strategies that I wanted to develop to help me with my developing resiliency when dealing with mistakes. So when reading over the course materials for Unit 4, I encountered a variety of different strategies and options that I believe can help me with developing resiliency and adaptation to mistakes. One of the strategies listed in the course material was cultivating positive mindsets. This is one that I think will definitely help overall and actually ties into the TED Talk as well because it's about maintaining a strong mental game which can prepare you for rejection or approval. And this is something that can help you maintain your mental efficiency by realizing your weaknesses or shortcomings and addressing them in an effort to not push yourself over the edge. If you approach situations with a mindset of sadness or self-disappointment or anger, it doesn't really leave much of a path in your mind to locate a better opportunity for change or improvement, which obviously isn't very effective because then there's nowhere to go further. You're kind of just stuck at one spot. The next strategy I'd like to learn how to incorporate in my life is problem solving. As explained in Unit 4, incorporating coherent problem solving skills can be a very valuable asset when trying to improve mental resiliency. The reason why this is an important strategy for me to develop is because when faced with a problem, it's important to be well versed in the aspect of being able to break down the situation and carefully assess each factor to understand the best path to help you achieve your goal. A lot of times, depending on the sort of problem you're facing, it can seem overwhelming. And because of that, your brain kind of just shuts down and you focus more on the negative side of how impossible it feels. However, by being able to instinctively assess the situation or break it down into digestible chunks to work with, you can effectively pick out a game plan, and then the situation becomes significantly easier to deal with. This is a strategy that will be applicable to every aspect of life and not just exclusively in a professional career context. And I think it's one that is going to be very helpful to me in my experience with life going forward. And yeah, that's about it for video journal number 2.